Shush. I could hear the dogs downstairs playing with something. They got a bone or something. It's upsetting Luna. So this is the second trip to Tucker's house, and what originally this was the information that I had when I went there. So obviously he was cornering and going after his owner, and her sons or whoever else came over was doing the same behavior. And I knew that there was another dog, his brother, that was there, and I knew that they had some confrontations, and that's why they were separated, and he was in his own separate room. What I didn't realize is that there was a third dog. She just didn't really mention, or maybe she did in passing, but I guess she didn't feel it was a concern. The third dog is an older dog, a small cockapoo. The two boys are probably about 1.5 years, something like that. So the older dog was kind of the influence on them, because she got them as puppies at 8 or 10 weeks old, or however old they were. And so she's been the main influence on them, and she was very insecure dominant. Like, if another dog approached her to sniff her or something like that, she'd curl up her body, get all tense, and then turn and snap at them. She's bitten both of the dogs. She'll actually pin them. She'll put them down and pin them. And she's very forceful with it. And so they picked up on all that, and as they got older, they started kind of doing that at each other, and then it became like nobody was actually really in charge. So the owner wasn't in charge, and all the dogs were kind of having like a vie for position, jockeying for position to see who was going to be the one in charge. And in that process, there was a few fights that scared her, and she thought, if he ever got a hold of the little one, he would kill her. And he makes a lot of noise and stuff, He's definitely the bigger and the stronger of all the dogs, and I'm sure he would take over if they were just left to their own devices. But the other one, I mean, they all did. They all kind of became a little bit insecure because they got so used to not knowing who was going to go after them, basically. And after she separated them, Tucker had his own room, his own space, and he kind of started to feel safe in that space. And then even with people coming in, he wanted to protect his space because it was the only place that he felt that he was safe and that he had control. He had control of his own environment, so he began to protect it. And that's what we see in the behavior when I come in. And this is the second time, so you'll see that it's a lot quicker this time. He's still pretty standoffish, but that'll gradually get better and better each time. So this is after 2 hours. I met Tucker in the first video. Afterwards, when I got the other two dogs out, it was too much going on to do the camera, so I stopped filming at that point. There was one point where the little dog corrected Dexter. Dexter kind of shot and ran away or whatever, and she kind of chased after him a bit. I corrected the small dog. Tucker, from the other room, he was on the other side of that gate, reacted and started barking and growling. I gave him a vibrate on the collar, told him no, and corrected the little dog all at once, and it just stopped. So it's pretty obvious that if somebody comes in and takes over, and the idea is to get her to take over, that when somebody's in charge, all that behavior is going to stop. They won't have any need to challenge each other or to fight each other. And we did, in this video, we had a couple altercations, very minor ones. I think you only get to see one in the video, the little correction that I addressed. But there was one incident early on when we got the two bigger dogs and little dog out in one area together. And we let them go just to see how they would interact. And Dexter came around the front of Tucker, and they met face to face like this. And he just stared at him and got still, Dexter did, and lifted up his paw. And you could see at that moment he was about to strike, and that's when I corrected him, and I pushed him back away, and then made him lay down, rolled him over. I relaxed him, and afterwards let him up, and there was no more altercation after that. Tucker had gone and put himself away, and he was just laying there, kind of shaking. I went over and I relaxed him, and then I think there was one other little correction with the little dog. She had a rock or something, and one of the dogs came near her, so she turned and like was trying to guard her little rock that she had. And then the one that you see, Dexter goes to address her for something. And these things are going to happen. You have to have them happen so that you can address it and let them know that they're that's not needed anymore, that you're going to control things from this point on. And we're going to see this definitely get a lot better as time goes on. We're doing like 2-hour sessions once a week, so it's not a whole lot of time that we have to put in because they are pretty far away. But we'll just keep doing a couple hours a week. Basically, what we've established at the end of this was she wants to give it through the next month to see if it's something that she can handle. It's pretty difficult. The concoction that happened with these dogs is not very easy for just the average person to handle. So we're going to try to get everything under control and then get her to a point that she can manage it on her own. And she's doing homework too. She's doing a lot of downs, stays, places, things like that, so she can really ingrain, so that when we're out in the yard later and we need to use those things, they're much better at it. Tucker's pretty good. He's smart. He learns really quick. Dexter, he's a little bit stubborn, and as of right now, the little one, Cashmere, is pretty unsure of me and most people. She's insecure about meeting people. She can be pretty standoffish. If they reach for her, she'll snap at them. So I see a lot of, when I touch her, a lot of her like getting still in her body, curling. But so far, I've been able to know the limit of where I can push her to get her to not react. But you could see it. You could see that there's, you could push her to the point where she would snap at you. And she has snapped at other people and bit before. So we definitely have to work on the other dogs, actually a lot more than Tucker. We went on a walk in this session here, and by the time we got where we were going and turned around and came back, so we were halfway through, we had them all walking together, but I actually had the two, Dexter and Tucker, in one hand walking next to each other. Dexter did a lot of he just really wanted to veer away and get as far away as possible, and I kept having to kind of bring him back in, but eventually, yeah, they were walking pretty good, and by the time we got back, they were pretty relaxed, and that's when we went out into the yard. We did put a muzzle on Tucker, and it definitely made him a lot more insecure. Having the muzzle on, not having any defenses, and that probably is a lot to do with how Dexter just immediately, it was almost as soon as we got in the yard, just passed around him, turned, and went to go stop the other dog from moving forward, and that's when they got into that stare down. So we'll just have to wait and see what these next few weeks bring, and hopefully we can come to a conclusion that's not her having to give up the dog, because that was if it doesn't work out, I've already got it arranged to take her into the shelter, and take him into the shelter and try to rehome him, because the other two, Dexter and Cashmere, even though she corrects him and snaps him at a lot, he tries to turn it into play, and he doesn't take her too seriously. He just runs away and then comes back and kind of stalks her, and he can't really get her, and he doesn't take it too seriously, so they can actually exist together, whereas the three of them cannot exist together, and Tucker cannot exist with them. And the longer they stay separated in their own territories, the worse it's going to get. That's a big mistake a lot of people make, is when their dogs get into a fight or two or something, they start separating them, and then they have separate territories within the house, and then you're closing gates and doors trying to get this one out and that one in and whatever, without them ever crossing paths. And it makes it a lot harder in the long run to get them back together. It's going to take some work for sure, but well, let's hope for the best.
Hello?
You got your toy? Much quicker. Tucker, come. No, come. No. Oh, go boy. Here. No, here. Sit. Good. Good boy. Here. Was he just out with the other guy?
The fence is separated. He's
Oh.
on one side, the other one's on the other side.
And that's not an issue. They don't ever bother each
They
other.
run along the fence and they like bark at each other, like playing, and then he'll get nasty, and then he'll turn and walk away, and then you don't want to
He
bother
gets
him
nasty?
anymore. He'll like freezes up and like wants to like fight instead of playing.
Yeah.
And then he just gives up and walks away.
Yeah.
So. I'm sorry.
Did you close this again?
No, it closed itself. Do you need help?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I need that fisheye one. I like have to keep backing up so I can get you in it.
So how's he been?
He actually, but it was, whatever day I text you, we had really bad like 2 days. Like he had his back facing everybody and just growling for like 2 days like that for no reason. Nobody was near him, nothing.
His back was turned?
Yep, he had his back like facing us, and then he was just sitting there and growl, growl, growl. And then it was like, he was fine. I've been doing what you told me. I don't let him in there. Like when he comes in, I make him stay out here for a while. And then he's not allowed in until I go in first and then I call him in.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and he's been great with me. He went after Matt twice that day I texted you, but after that, he's been fine. He
And has
hasn't-
Matt or Bobby or
Nope.
anybody been here?
Matt has been here, and he gives a little bit of growl, and I give him a correction. I said, knock it off,
And he stops?
and then he stops, but
Good.
I won't let Matt push it though.
Yeah,
Because I said, Matt, I don't want you bringing that part of him out. Don't do it, you know. But I had him out last night with Amber, Matt's wife. He was fine.
Out here, it's not an issue.
Right.
It's just over there.
Right.
Good.
Thank you.
Does he do that a lot? Kind of like ignore him with the back turn?
Usually when he first comes out, he'll run the fence. They run and play together.
It's a nice little separation, though.
The other whole part of the yard's all fenced in too. You be good boy. Good boy.
Hello.
Now, what about the other one? Does she come out here with him?
She will be in there with him and play. And I usually won't bring him out so I can keep an eye because she'll go after him, but outside she can't catch him.
Yeah.
So they're
He doesn't really take her too seriously, does
no,
he?
no. No.
I mean, he like runs away. But
He
then
runs and then he'll pretend like he's going after her, but they're playing.
He's trying to turn it.
Yes.
Like let her know
Right.
to play.
But she gets nasty. So
Yeah.
she like wants to. I mean, she's taken by the neck and pinned him to the ground before.
Kidding.
No, she's
You gotta
mean.
see her. She's what,
Is she like this tiny little
20s
thing?
pounds
Cockapoo.
tops?
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Now, is this good that he's doing this? Should he do this?
He's just paying attention to me, so that's great.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's great.
And he's very awkward. He's so clumsy. Except those really long legs. He's just. Supposedly they're brothers from the same litter.
They definitely look like they are.
That anxiousness could cause him to want to correct that as well.
Okay.
He kind of reminds me of Rocky.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he like this a lot, or just because we're out here? He's
No, he wants to play. He does this with him. He'll keep doing this until he plays back. Because sometimes Tucker will just wander off and go to the bathroom, whatever. And he'll keep doing that till Tucker runs the fence with him.
How's he on leash? Is he pretty good?
But they both walk good on the leash. Yeah.
Alright. I think we're just gonna go for a walk now. That'd be the best thing.
Okay.
All right. I'll leave.
So I'm gonna have you take him, and I'm gonna have her take
Cashmere.
Cashmere. Thank you. See much of that?
I was watching. Yeah, I was going window to window. I liked how you corrected him.
Yeah,
It seems like he was doing.
he was the instigator in that.
Like they kind of came and they met up front, and then he got like stiff and he had his paw up in the air like that.
Okay.
So that's when I corrected him, because that's like about the strike mode. When
Okay.
his paws just holding it up like that.
Hey,
I think if he didn't have the muzzle on, they could have gotten up.
no.
Okay.
She's not so bad. You know, she tried to correct him, I think, once.
Yeah.
It was over there and in here too.
Yes. Once in here as well.
Afterwards, he got so tense. He
Yeah.
was just like
He was shaking.
holding himself and shaking, you know. And I just went over and I relaxed him a bit.
Okay.
Just like laid him on. Laid him on his side, massaged him, like holds his legs up in the air like this.
Okay.
Just kind of push him down, relax his body, massage him. Good. Till he starts to relax, and then he starts to get sleepy.
Okay.
And then when you get up and you walk away, you say, "This is how I want you to be."
Okay.
Same with him. Like he was pretty tense after I corrected him. And it took
Okay.
me a
Yeah,
while.
he fought it a little bit.
Okay. Well, yeah, he ain't used to being
I
corrected
normally
or
don't like
anything.
do that so forcefully, but when they're fighting, you don't have a choice, you know. Yeah, and I think like he just came in. I think it was probably more or less play, but you can't come in that hard, you know.
Okay.
You should come in low, respectful, smell, walk away.
Okay.
Even if they come in face to face, they should never stop and make dead eye contact. They should just kind of pass each other like that. You know, do the little sniff, and then
Okay.
all about the business. Yeah, if you saw that from the window, when they have that direct face to face and they get still like that, that's bad. That's about to.
Okay. That's
Sometimes if
that's
you-
what he does. He gets
Sometimes,
like
yeah.
stiff.
And it's funny because he was the one who kind of initiated. He walked into him, right before they got real
He's gonna
tense.
start it and he's gonna finish it.
Yeah.
That's what
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
But when you see that sometimes and they get still, anything that you do like hey or something like that could set it off.
I know that. Because when he first started doing it, I would yell, and it made it worse.
Probably 16. And I'm gonna pulse him until he's on that mat.
Okay.
And once he's on that, then I'll stop. Tucker, here. Place. Right there. Down. 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 Good. Stay. So, it's okay if he gets up on his own and makes a mistake. That's how he's going to learn.
Okay.
So until I tell him to get up, if he gets up on his own, I'm going to push this and hold this, go grab the leash and guide him back. Once he's back on the mat, then I'm going to let go.
Okay.
So he's going to learn that whenever he gets off that mat, he's going to feel this, and the way to make it stop is to go back there.
Okay.
So that way, when you come up the stairs or when you come over here and he starts doing that, instead of, yelling or doing anything like that, you're just going to push and go, no, place. And then, oh, I know how to stop that.
Okay.
And he's going to move away and go over here and lay down.
Okay.
Tucker, break. Good boy. You are so smart. You are so smart. Good. Stay. I'm not going to get him up. No.
I'm surprised.
I know you won't. Good boy. Good boy. You're the smartest dog ever. Oh.
See? He's such a lover. I know.
Okay, ready? Tucker, place. Down. Good. So far, I've only used this one. Did you already teach him that? That's weird.
Smart.
He's a very smart
Yeah,
dog.
he is. Now I got all your things. Woo-hoo. Look at the fun I'm having with the 80s. Nope, nice. Right here, nice. Tucker. Good. Down. Good. Stay. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep them. I'm not going to keep them.
He's like, fine, I'll ignore you. I won't watch.
That's perfect. You see how he gives in and he just relaxes?
Okay.
Hmm.
He gives up the idea of wanting to get up again. That's what he wants. So that's when we're going to tell him, good boy, break. Tucker. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Can you do this without a leash? Yeah. Tucker, place. No, place.
He's like, where do you care where I lay as long as I lay down?
Place. Good. Stay. Good boy. Break. Come. Good boy.
He's afraid of them, like petrified of them.
He wasn't attacked though, right?
No, he said it was bad.
No, he didn't budge. Come in.
Let me actually go.
I think he's on to you. Who's that? Who is it? Come in. Not even picking his head up.
He's too smart. He knows. You're the smarty boy.
How's the shaking? Is he cold?
No, he's just dealing with it. Good boy. Good boy. Break. Break. Tucker, break. Good boy. Let's go see the new person.
Good boy. Hi. Yes, it is quite like to meet you. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're so good boy. Yes, you are. Oh, I know. I know.
So you get the idea? You could just like practice that a little bit.
Okay.
It should help you so you make your decision.